Gunners of Africa, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel, and this is the daily Arsenal talk as we have here on this channel. I'll be talking about the daily Arsenal concerns, the players, the Arsenal news, and all other information concerning Arsenal Football Club. And please, if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to please share, like, and subscribe. And as I commune with Ash on today's show, Ash, how ready are you for today's show?
Always ready, always ready.
So, okay, so this is all about Arsenal, as we all know, and this is what we've been doing. And there are certain issues that need to be addressed, needs to be looked at, needs to be analyzed, and that's the way forward as we dive into the show proper. Now, Arsenal, currently, the club just came back from the trip, from the Dubai trip, and bouncing back to winning ways with 5-0 against the struggling Crystal Palace side. How shocked are you about that goal first?
Yeah, I'm shocked though. But in as much as that, Crystal Palace were poor.
Yeah,
They were very, very poor.
very poor. Yeah.
And it was a good one though. A good way to bounce back. A good response. But to be honest with you, for the last large part of the game, I was not impressed with the performance. I wasn't impressed with the performance for the large part of the game. It seems like towards the end of the game when Martinelli came on, it seemed like, but for the large part of the game, I wasn't impressed with the performance.
Also, it also seems to be like a turning point for Martinelli, who had been having this goal drought and bad performances over the course of the last few games, and he came on as a substitute, and everything went to his favor. Is it down to tactics or still down to the poor performance of Crystal Palace?
No, Martinelli takes being benched personally.
Yeah.
He takes it personal. I remember when he was benched against is it Aston Villa last season?
Yeah.
When he was actually having some bad games and he was sent back to the bench, and then he came on against Aston Villa. He got that goal, and immediately he got that goal, he didn't go back to the bench again.
Yeah, exactly.
So
take it personal.
He's that kind of player who accepts challenge.
Yeah.
Sometimes we as human beings we need that extra push.
Yeah. It's so funny because before the Dubai trip, him and Trossard looked to be very, very rusty at the end of the day. But now looking at his scoreline, Nelly had 2, Trossard had 1, and it's also great to see the young lads. But yet the problem still remains that the club is struggling with finishing right now. And do you see the Crystal Palace game as a game that shows you that the club has moved on from that ill fate?
No.
Why do you think no?
How many people scored the goal? Gabriel Magalhaes, that's a defender. The second one was an own goal. Leandro Trossard. And then Trossard was actually on the pitch for a large part of the game. And I also told you I was not impressed with the performance of the game. It simply means that I was not impressed with the front line for a large part of the game.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
So I don't think it has been solved yet. Bukayo Saka is not still firing. You get me? And we got a large number of our goals last season from Saka and Martinelli.
Yeah.
Odegaard is not still firing.
Total of whooping over 70 goals.
It's 88 goals.
88 goals, yeah.
So I don't think we're there yet.
Just yet.
We're not there yet. The problem is still there. You get me? We've always talked about needing a striker. It cannot be overstated.
But it's so funny. It's so funny being in this situation because it was the same attack that we used to storm the league last season. It was the same front three that we used to storm the league last season. Jesus being available at the top 9. Nketiah also taking a shift as well. So what seemed to be the missing piece of the jigsaw this same season, whereby we need to tell the whole world that look, this season is not a fluke.
aside from the fact that our wingers are being
clipped,
you understand, to the wing.
Yes.
We actually, if you watch Arsenal closely this season, we are solid at the back. So I feel like we let go of that attacking spark somehow to actually solidify the team at the back.
Yeah.
Because if you notice, there are times this season where we drop back.
Yes.
Drop back drastically.
Yeah.
You get me? And earlier this season, you always complain about the fact that when we score one goal, we sit back.
Yeah, exactly.
You understand? But it wasn't happening last season.
Last season it also happened, but just that
it wasn't happening that much.
It wasn't happening that much. But this season it seems to be like we don't have that intensity that we had last season. fine, we win games, we control games, but that intensity is much more than the league like the Premier League, because the Premier League is full of surprises and teams no longer respect big teams or the so-called big teams anymore, or the teams in form anymore. You lose, you snooze, you lose actually. And being the fact that Arsenal is, according to you in your books, Arsenal is, you're still not convinced about our finishing prospects in front of goal, and we are now going to a much more tough, which is the City Ground at Nottingham Forest. What is your expectation on that particular game? Do you expect us to still struggle, or you expect us to just hit the ground
Me as a
running?
fan, I don't want the team to struggle in front of goal. I want them to actually put the ball in the back of the net. You understand? It boils down to the mentality. You just won 5-0 at home against Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
It's left to the players to build on that.
And not say they want to be complacent of.
So if you're going to City Ground and then you're telling yourself as a footballer, if I'm Bukayo Saka, if I'm Martinelli, if I'm Martin Odegaard, if I'm Gabriel Jesus, if I'm Leandro Trossard, whoever is starting, I'm telling myself I want to build on this. You get me?
Yeah.
I want to build on this 5-0. You don't have to go there and look the way you looked at Craven Cottage. You understand? You have to go there and look at what the likes of Martinelli have done at Emirates against Crystal Palace, what Trossard have done. And if you're Odegaard, Jesus or Bukayo Saka, and still those two players, you're telling yourself I want to build on this. You understand? You don't have any reason to struggle in front of goal against Nottingham Forest. You don't have any reason. Why are you struggling? If you're struggling in front of goal against a big team, a top team like you, I understand it. Why are you struggling in the front of goal against Fulham and Nottingham Forest, all these clubs? Why?
I think it's almost like a flu that just caught up with the whole team, because the only person missing in this team is Xhaka.
Imagine creating 30 chances against West Ham. 30.
I think this is a real cause for alarm. This is a real cause for alarm, because the team is decent. Tactics is working. You are creating chances. Creating chances is one of the hardest things in the game, like I always say. So if a team is creating chances, that means there's not too much wrong with the team. You just to put the ball at the back of the net. So this, I think, in my own personal point of view, I think I was not. Actually, it's the first time in a long while where Arsenal win a game by 5-0, and you see some fans still grumbling. Oh, I'm not this one. You can hear the other fan, they saying that Arteta still has a long way to go. It's so funny, because we don't know what to expect next. You understand? So I think this issue is still an issue. I think when we get to the City Ground, we will know if it's still an issue or it's not, or it's a past issue actually. So City Ground, Nottingham Forest, the football club. In our last two meetings there, I can remember vividly the one last year. That was the day we officially bottled the league.
But I feel like this whole goal scoring thing will still go on.
If you predict it to still go on.
I'm not saying putting the ball in the back of the net will still go on. I feel like the talk about scoring goals, I know that in the Arsenal Football Club will still go on as long as till the summer, till we get that striker. It's people will keep talking about it.
Yeah, and we used to think that Nketiah, Gabriel Jesus, these two guys, we used to think that they complement each other in the terms that when Gabriel Jesus goes for injury and Nketiah steps up, knowing that I'm not the main man here now, I'm not the one carrying the club for the main time. But now that doesn't just seem to be the case. That's like out of the equation, because Gabriel Jesus will come and fluff his lines, Nketiah will also come and fluff his lines.
The thing is, we need in Arsenal, we need a striker that can make a goal out of nothing. When last did you see a striker at Arsenal that can make a goal out of nothing? I'll tell you when last. Aubameyang. They give him the ball on the flank, and once you see him with the ball on the flank, you already know it's a goal. Yeah. But when last do we have that? No. Instead, we have a striker in Gabriel Jesus who is actually creating for the wingers. And once the wingers can't score, you begin to ask yourself, what is he doing in the team? Because if the wingers can't score, the next thing the winger starts doing is try to create for the striker. Yeah. And at his B, he's not even there. You understand? So that's why I said it won't go away until we sign that striker. And Nketiah on the other end is a striker that will give you one stellar performance in 5 games.
Now let's move forward on the show. Fans have been calling about, or have been questioning the dynamism of Arteta's front three, saying that he's too rigid on the front three. As we all know, you all see on the lineup, even with one eyes closed or two eyes closed, Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus, Saka, always on the lineup, week in, week out. And some fans have been calling to see Martinelli on the 9th position, just being the fact that he is a very good finisher. Are you in support of that? Do you think the tactics will let Martinelli flourish, or do you think the tactics will let him score those goals as a good finisher that he is?
I will keep Martinelli on the flank.
Still yet.
Martinelli can actually play as the number 9 from the flank. Aubameyang was playing as the number 9 from the flank, and he scored goals, or he had his best performance came under Arteta on the flank. But when he started playing as a number 9 under Mikel Arteta, it was a whole different story. So it depends on the tactics and how you want the team to play. If you see the run Martinelli made against Crystal Palace, that's a number 9 run.
Yeah, exactly. That's why fans are calling him. But the thing here is, with your analysis now, you got his spot on. But Martinelli is a player known for
wanting to hold the ball,
and fans, I can tell you, fans are fed up with seeing Martinelli down the flank. You understand? Fans are really fed up. You know, Martinelli is a very brilliant player. He's really done a lot for us now, but this is a moment whereby we have seen so many fans questioning that defect from this particular young lad, and it's becoming is something that is obvious. Everybody knows. So that's why we are trying to say, okay, let us cover his nakedness. Let us put him down the middle and take Jesus to the flank, and let us see the productivity. But a certain gaffer is not willing to take that bold step to do it. But do you think that could be, despite his shortcomings, or despite him not being effective anymore from the flank, do you still think he's still going to have a spark to light up this team for the business end of the season?
If you play him as a 9, then we have to twerk something in our tactics. We can't play Martinelli as a 9 and play the way you play when you have Jesus as your 9.
But you also have Jesus that can also fill up for Saka's wing too, because Saka too is another issue on ground now.
That's why I'm saying that if you're playing Martinelli as your top 9, you cannot play him. You cannot play the way you play when you have Jesus. You have to twerk something. You don't expect, if you're playing Martinelli as a 9, would you want him to come and start playing in your midfield, or like Mr. David would say, come to your defense and start playing?
The truth is that if you play Martinelli as a 9 who will drop deep, you still see the same thing that you see on the wing. Why? Because he does not release the ball quick. You understand? And when he's dropping deep, you always see Saka ahead of him, and these are players that you need to drop the ball quick while they're on the break. So it's just good, since he's a player that wants the ball on his feet, not like he's a runner that wants to always receive the ball while running. You always want to play him as the positional 9.
If I play Martinelli as my 9, what I would expect to do most times in a game is what was done against Sevilla in Spain.
Yeah, always drifting.
You know, especially the goal he scored.
Yeah,
he made that run and gave it.
That's what we need. That's what we need
to do with Martinelli as my top 9. Make the run behind the last defender.
Yeah, because I think this has to be, because since the January transfer window now, getting a striker that is not being realistic. We have to be frank about that. I think the gaffer needs to try using this lad. He's got the speed, he's got the energy, he's got the finishing prospect. You know, he's got the finishing ability rather. So I think he's gonna bring something different. He wants something different entirely from Gabriel Jesus, Nketiah, going forward and getting the goals. So I think. So your prediction so far for the game against Nottingham Forest, what are you expecting? City ground, like I said earlier on, last 2 games we were beating. I think the FA Cup game we played, I think that was 2 years ago, and last year when we officially brought to the league. What are you expecting at this point?
Must you remind me?
yeah, I'm reminding you so that you know what to say in terms of expectations.
Man, that would be a tough game.
Very tough game.
They're flying high currently. No, Espirito, he's back.
Although they lost their last game against Brentford.
Yeah, they put in a very decent performance that day still.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
Man. Shit.
So I said, shit.
Oh, God.
Well, it's going to be a very tough game.
It's going to be a tough game. You get me? It's going to be a tough game. And I know you're wondering why it's so difficult for me to say a scoreline because of what we have been through.
Are you or is it difficult because of facing Matona and
No, it's
Nuno
difficult
Tavares?
because of we've gone there twice and it's a very difficult ground. I know that.
Yeah.
Sometimes history can play these tricks on you.
Exactly.
You understand? But I expect Arsenal to go there and come out with a 3-1 win.
Wow, this is audacious from you. 3-1 win.
A 3-1 win.
Well, I myself I predict a 1-1 by Arsenal because I think I'm not confident yet. Forget about what we saw at Crystal Palace. I'm predicting a 1-1 Arsenal Nottingham Forest game. I think the game will be played next week, sometime next week.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Yeah, on Tuesday. So let us know in your comment section what are the things the gaffer needs to do to help this goal scoring situation. And as we saw, our opinion was Martinelli going down the striker position. And catch up with us on the comment section as well. We would love to know what you want us to know about salvaging the goal issues for Arsenal right now. Thank you, and please, if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Thank you very much for being with us.